The truth is, we all know that feeling of paying monthly bills because we all have bills to pay. It's universal. Whether they are small or big, we have to pay our bills. What if I told you that paying your bills on time is probably one of the most important factors for any young adult or anyone that's trying to improve their credit score? Paying your bills on time reduces your overall financial strain, it decreases your overall stress, and it also prevents consumer debt accumulation. Did you know your payment history, or whether you pay your bills on time, accounts for 35% of your credit score? This is a huge portion of how your credit score is calculated, and it's really important to focus on your payment history so that you can increase your overall credit score. This is effectively a promise that you make to your lenders, and once you pay your bills on time, you are keeping your promise and proving to them that you have financial discipline to pay your bills. Paying your bills on time also helps to increase your chances of securing a loan with much better terms compared to someone that has a really bad credit score. You can actually save thousands of rands in interest on home loans or car loans if you have a good credit score. Of course, there might be some of you that have no idea what your credit score is at the moment, and that's the first step that we need to focus on. This is simply the best place to start. Luckily, Nedbank has a free money app that you can use to do unlimited credit checks, and the best of all is it doesn't affect your credit score. I previously made a video about how I took control of my finances with Nedbank, where I share so many different tips and tools that you can use for free when you use the Nedbank Money app. First, I'll log into my Nedbank Money app, and on my dashboard under Financial Wellness, we can see it has an option that says my credit score, and if we wait a couple of seconds, it will show us our credit score. Like you can see, it's telling me that I'm doing great and my score is currently 688 out of 730. A really important thing to consider is looking at factors affecting your score. If we click on this, it will show us where we can actually improve our credit score. And if you are someone that's struggling to pay your bills on time, Nedbank's app will tell you you need to focus on making your payments on time or paying your bills on time. Maybe you have too many loans. It will actually give you a tip to improve that part of your credit score. So not only does it show you your credit score, it actually shares tips how you can practically increase your overall score. Now that we know our credit score and we were able to assess what's going on in our personal finances, we need to start working on a plan. The best way to do this is to simply start with a budget. A budget is simply a written plan that shows how much money you have coming in and how much money is going out. At the end of the day, we want to have a budget drawn up that has more income than expenses, meaning we have money left over at the end of the month. That money can either be used to go towards our savings or to pay off consumer debt. A great way to start with a basic budget is to use the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% goes towards your needs, which is stuff like food, rent, medical aid, insurance, or any necessity that you can't live without. And then we have 30% that needs to go to your wants. Wants would be anything like entertainment, internet, cell phone contracts, dining out, or anything that you use to entertain yourself. Lastly, the 20% needs to go towards your savings or debt repayments, and preferably we can get to a point where we can save 20% of our income instead of paying off debt. But the reality is, most of the time that 20% goes directly towards debt repayments, and that's why a budget is so important. This is not something you can overlook, especially if you are struggling financially. You need to use the 50-30-20 rule as a guideline, but make sure you are aware of every expense that goes through your bank account. Once we have our budget set up, we should start focusing on what we can minimize or what amounts we can actually reduce. Let's say, for example, your budget in a month is 2,000 Rand for dining out or entertainment. Try to reduce your entertainment budget to, let's say, 500 Rand a month and use your extra additional 1,500 Rand to repay your debt instead. Don't focus on the short term, rather focus on the longer term, because building a good credit score and paying your bills on time ultimately affects your financial future and, of course, any loved one or family member. Again, you need to be able to live within your means, but let's be honest, sometimes life happens and we just don't have enough money to make our repayments. Luckily, companies like Nedbank can help us in these situations, and I wanted to express the importance of communicating with your lenders instead of just not making your payments or not paying your bills on time. There are short and long-term financial relief solutions, and I wanted to show you guys Nedbank's website where they talk specifically about financial relief. This is pretty cool because they can help you in a couple of different situations. If we click on the option that says I'm struggling to make payments, it will redirect us to a couple of options. The first one is restructures. And the website says by extending your repayment period, you could lower your monthly installments and enjoy some breathing room to meet your financial obligations. Restructures are available on home loans and vehicle finance. If we click on find out more, it will give us some extra detail that we need to be aware of. And this is what I like about the website. It will show us what is a loan restructure and do I qualify, and it also shows us benefits of the restructuring and drawbacks of the restructuring, which of course is very important. The first benefit is you could reduce your monthly repayments and your arrears are spread over the extended term. Some of the drawbacks, however, is that by extending your repayment terms, you will pay more interest in the long run, but remember, you can always pay extra in the future when your financial situation is looking much better. The second one is I can't make payments this month, or I have missed a payment before. If we click on this, it will either give us a short-term payment relief plan, debt consolidation, payment arrangements, or a restructure again. I would suggest going to the website and clicking on everyone and finding out more about the benefits and how it actually works. I wanted to show you this one again, and the benefits of a payment arrangement is that it will allow you breathing room to recover your financial situation, catch up on your payments over extended period, and maintain a good credit profile. This is very important because we want to maintain a good credit profile. Some of the drawbacks, of course, is you will pay more interest and fees over the longer term as a result of the extended term of reduced installments. So most of the time, interest will be a drawback, but by doing this, we can ultimately still protect our credit score. The last resort would probably be debt counseling, and some of the tips that Nedbank shares is credit restriction is an issue because you are not allowed to get credit while undergoing debt counseling, for example, for 3 to 5 years. It also might take much longer to pay off your debt. Debt counseling involves some costs, for example, fees regulated by law, and some accounts may be excluded from review. Probably one of the worst ones is that it has a negative impact on your credit score in the short term, and if you are married in community of property, partners must apply together, so it has family impact. The whole idea of debt counseling is to help you get back on your feet using all reasonable measures available to you through financial services and the National Credit Act. The idea would be to avoid debt counseling and to focus on the options that you have available before that. But to avoid all of these issues, you simply need to pay your bills on time. That's it. It's as easy as making your payments on time as promised to your lenders. Remember, seeking help to make payments on time is not just your financial responsibility, but it's an investment in your future.